So starting the test drive in this Soul, it can get a bit raspy in the higher RPMs, but I love how the 2-liter sounds overall, just with it being a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Nothing unexpected, but it does get up to speed relatively easily. So I like that. I'm gonna put the steering into sport, see what that changes. So not feeling too much of a difference, but totally fine. I'm gonna put it in the manual mode. I'm gonna put my foot into it. Let's see what this thing can really do. So not bad at all. Actually quite impressed just by how quick it gets up to speed here. Very impressive. Now it's not necessarily fast again, but it's not a slouch, and we're cruising here, and the ride itself is pretty nice. It could be worse. Obviously it doesn't ride like a Buick, but it's not bad. Wind noise is not intrusive. I can kind of hear the road noise a little bit, but not terrible. These days, most vehicles shouldn't have any weird sounds or whatever. They never sell them. So I mean, it's pretty normal, everything considered. And the cool thing about this is you can expect to get pretty good fuel economy numbers with a vehicle like this. You do have to put the foot down just a little bit to get the brake activated hard, but I like how it feels. Not overly touchy, but it doesn't feel unsafe either. So far I'm pretty impressed by this car in general. Just pickup, fuel economy is expected to be pretty good, and just the overall driving dynamics are impressive for a vehicle that's $12,000 used. I think this is around 13K, but it only has less than 59,000 miles. Now I do think in terms of competition, Kia has always had a pretty good market share on vehicles like this. You can think of the Hyundai Kona, maybe like the Mazda CX-30, just a small SUV that isn't really an SUV. It just kind of sits like one. Or there's a good example, that Chevy Trax there. They've always been very inexpensive, and other than GM, Kia's always been kind of ahead of the curve with technology that comes out. So having the hard drive installed here is great, and then the Bluetooth capability in a car that's in this segment, a lot of the times it's hard to come by, and you can still keep the vehicle relatively affordable. So but I mean, for everyday commuting, if you're wanting to get something that's inexpensive that's also affordable on gas, this is the way to do it. And then if you do ever need to put your foot to the floor, it's not a complete letdown. Now it's not turbocharged, so you don't have that feeling there, but it's also not a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated engine. This 2 liter is pretty strong, again, for what it is. But as I come to an end of this review, a really impressive car, again, if you're trying to stay on a budget, something that should last you for years to come, and then if you do ever need to fix it, won't necessarily break the bank as opposed to some newer vehicles. So with all that being said, this will bring me to an end of my review of this 2016 Kia Soul Plus.